I knew something was off the second she opened the door. I'd never met my boyfriend's therapist before, but I recognized her immediately, the same woman I'd seen with him in a bar, laughing a little too close, touching his arm while he swore she was just an old friend from college. My stomach twisted, but he brushed past me like nothing was wrong, greeting her with a hug that lasted a beat too long. I told myself I was being paranoid, that the therapist's office was supposed to feel safe and unfamiliar at the same time. We sat down, and she started with the usual therapist nonsense, talking about trust, communication, honesty. My boyfriend kept glancing at her like he was waiting for her approval, not mine. And then, out of nowhere, she brought up the topic of outside connections and how intimacy can evolve in unexpected places. She looked right at him. He looked at her. My mind raced through every late night, every time he'd said he was working late, every time he'd turned off his location. I interrupted, asked straight out if they knew each other outside of these sessions. She didn't even flinch. She just smiled and said, "We believe in transparency here." That's when my boyfriend reached for my hand, like he was about to confess to something small, like forgetting to take out the trash. Instead, he told me they'd been seeing each other for months, and that therapy was his way of coming clean in a controlled environment. He wanted us all to talk it out, like this was some twisted intervention. I walked out before they could say anything more. I don't know if the betrayal hurt more, or the fact that he'd orchestrated the entire thing to make himself feel less guilty. I kept thinking maybe I'd missed some obvious sign, or maybe I'd ignored my instincts because I was afraid of starting over. But standing outside that office, I realized the real twist. I wasn't angry that he cheated. I was angry at myself for loving someone who needed an audience just to tell the truth.